Hi, how you doing? It's not like me to stray from the point and go off on a tangent, but today's video is all a bit tangential. While researching the history of boxing, as I often tend to do, I came across a very interesting thing and it completely distracted me. It's kind of connected to what we talk about here, and I think you'll find it as interesting as I did. So today, we're going to talk about Big Ben. Before I get going, I'd like to let you know that this video has a sponsor, and that sponsor is Heelhook Coffee. On the banks of the Thames, in the centre of London, stands the Palace of Westminster. It's often called the Houses of Parliament and is both the seat of the UK government and also one of the most famous landmarks in the whole world. The clock tower, known officially as the Elizabeth Tower, is now synonymous with Big Ben, the biggest and heaviest of the bells inside it. But there are a few things about Big Ben that I suspect you might not know. You might be a little puzzled as to how this is relevant, but it is all going to become clear, I promise. The fact is, the bell isn't actually called Big Ben. Its official name is simply the Great Bell. Big Ben is just a nickname. The most commonly accepted story as to how it got this nickname is that it's named after Sir Benjamin Hall, Commissioner of Works who oversaw the installation of the bell. It's said that sometime after the tower was completed in 1859, Hall gave a very long and dull speech about the tower, the bell, and what to name it. An anonymous member of Parliament was said to have called out, "Why not call him Big Ben and have done with it?" However, this is unlikely to be when the name was chosen, as the Times had been referring to the bell as Big Ben of Westminster for at least 3 years at that point. Before I go on to tell you who it's most likely to be named after, here are a few other things about Big Ben that you might not have known. Inside the tower is a small prison cell. It's only accessible from the House of Commons, and the Sergeant-at-Arms still has the authority to arrest MPs and lock them in the cell. However, this hasn't been done since 1880, when the newly elected MP Charles Bradlaugh refused to swear allegiance to the Queen. The bell itself was cast at the Whitechapel Bell Foundry, the same foundry as the American Liberty Bell, which is famously cracked. What most people don't realise is that Big Ben is also cracked, and in 1859 was rotated so that the hammer struck a different section of the bell. The Palace of Westminster was hit by bombs on 14 separate occasions during the Blitz in World War II, including the tower, but the bell remained untouched and the clock continued to keep time accurately. However, in 1949, some years after the war had ended, a large flock of starlings did what the combined might of Hitler's Luftwaffe failed to do. They alighted on the minute hand and had enough combined weight to prevent the mechanism from moving for 4.5 minutes. Bloody starlings, eh? Anyway, before we get back to the name of the bell, let's talk coffee. Heelhook Coffee is a small UK company that produces a small selection of coffees themed around jiu-jitsu. I've been aware of them for a little while, and so when they sent me some coffee to try, I was really excited. And it turns out it's actually really nice coffee. Genuinely, it's lovely. During the COVID lockdowns, I got really into coffee. I've always liked it. I've never really understood tea as a drink, but I always used to subscribe to that weird idea that so many people have that the stronger coffee was, the better it was. I just never really understood what strong meant. Did it mean caffeine? Did it mean really dark roast? It wasn't until I started to learn about the different types of coffee and how roasting changes the flavour and nature of the drink that I learned how stunningly good a lighter roast coffee can be. And I think it's fair to say that Heelhook's old school black belt is now one of my favourites. Their coffee is all ethically sourced, their packaging is fully recyclable, though initially I was a little puzzled by the shape of the bags the coffee comes in, but it means that it'll fit through your letterbox and won't get left outside for someone to steal. They've partnered with a large roasting house that uses the energy contained within used coffee grounds to power the roasting process, which makes it about as eco-friendly as it can possibly be. I'm not going to stop drinking it because it's right here. They've kindly provided me with an affiliate link, which is in the description, which means that if you follow that link and buy some coffee yourself, I'll get a small kickback of a few % of the purchase price. It doesn't change what you pay. But they've also agreed to give you 10% off the purchase price if you use the code EnglishMartialArts when you check out. So if you like coffee and want to support a small jiu-jitsu related business, go give them a try. I suspect you'll be impressed. I'll put this down now to finish the video. In 1841, in the village of Long Marston, not far from Stratford-upon-Avon, in Warwickshire, Ben Cornt defeated Nick Ward in their second fight to finally become champion of all England. Cornt stood 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 18 stone, which is 250 pounds or almost 115 kilos. He was known as the Torkard Giant after the market town of Hucknall Torkard, where he was born. However, he was more commonly known as Big Ben, for obvious reasons. Very soon after he claimed the championship, a craze began to refer to the biggest and best of anything as Big Ben. And so when our unknown MP called out, "Why not just call it Big Ben?" he was likely referring to the name it already had, because of Big Ben Cornt, champion of all England. So the next time you see the tower or hear the bell chime, remember Benjamin Cornt, the Torkard Giant, champion of all England. So did you know these facts? Or is this new to you like it was to me? Stick something in the comments and let me know. I've been uploading daily videos for 26 days now. Have you managed to watch them all? Do you think I should keep going? If you've enjoyed this one or any of the other 25 I've uploaded recently, please consider supporting the channel so I can keep doing this. You can become a member of the channel here on YouTube. You can support me over at patreon.com/EnglishMartialArts, or you can just hit the thanks button under the video. If you aren't in a position to support me and the channel financially, that's absolutely fine. Hitting the like button and sharing my content with other people helps boost my stats so that I can get more amazing sponsors like Heelhook Coffee. And to those of you still here at the very end of the video, fight team!